was a reason that they didn't want to make an STI. All you guys that were complaining about this, saying the TS wasn't enough, you know, guess what? Guess what? This is your fault. This is your fault. Now we have an STI, not just a standard STI model. This is the S210. But here's the thing. There's no 6-speed here. They're not even going to offer the 6-speed. They're going to make 500 of these things, and it's all the CVT. Now, of course, as you know, they don't call it the CVT. They call it the SPT, which it's a CVT that actually drives good. It does. It's like the perfect transmission for the WRX GT. But this is not a WRX GT. This is an STI. So you might think, well, okay, if they're going to go this route, at least they'll probably improve the performance on the SPT transmission even more. Well, guess what? There's no mention of any improvements here. I mean, you can read through the list here. There's nothing. There's nothing about, improved. Well, it's not, it doesn't shift. I mean, the ratio changes. There's no mention, does the ratio change faster? No mention of that. How about, you might be thinking, well, yeah, maybe the transmission cooler is probably upgraded. Maybe it's a nice STI transmission cooler. Well, no, it looks like they're using just the standard Subaru one. It's not STI. It's not STI. So, hey, I guess, I don't know, maybe the SPT is as good as it gets in its current form. It must. So, that being said, one thing we should point out here is that they are calling this a prototype. Or sometimes they refer to it as a prototype. Other times they say production is going to start in the spring. So I don't know. And this thing looks like a proper STI model as well. I mean, there's a full ground effects package here. Splitter up front. Huge skirts. Really, I mean, these go all the way up to the door. Down the side, an extension off the back, and there is a new rear diffuser as well. And it's all black. There's a lot of black still. And up front, this is actually really cool. They don't actually show this. If you zoom in here, you can see that there's they call this an LED accessory light next to the fog lights. So they don't say what it does. Does it come on with the fogs? I don't know. Does it come on with the turn signals? Who knows? I mean, I think it would look really cool just to have them on as like an additional light for the DRLs. So yeah, just threw that in the Photoshop real quick. And if you got a keen eye, you'll actually notice that the fender flares here are different. They are different. So for a couple of different reasons, in fact. Number one, you can see that they do flare out just a touch. I don't know what it is. It's probably less than an inch. So yeah, I guess this thing will probably have a little bit of a wider track as well. But the thing that really caught my eye with this, yeah, you can see it here. You can see it here. This is all just flush on the regular WRX. But the thing that really caught my eye here is you can see in these images, it's like a gloss black. It is gloss black. In fact, they say it's just the standard black paint that Subaru uses. Wide type and painted in crystal black silica. That's just standard black paint. So remember all that talk about, how the WRX, it has that kind of, the surface on it is textured, right? They claim that actually reduced drag, improved aerodynamics. Nobody bought it. Nobody bought that. Well, guess what? I guess we finally got an answer here, right? I mean, if STI is not using that, it definitely doesn't have any performance gain, then does it? So let me know what you think about that. I guess, that's what it was. It's just BS, basically. Flat out BS. And then kind of the big news is at the back. This is actually, they're saying this is a dry carbon fiber wing. So dry carbon fiber, just, basically it's even lighter than standard carbon fiber, less resin. So that's, hey, it looks cool too as well. It kind of like folds down to create these end plate, this like end plate like design. So that's great. That's great. What's not so great though is the standard roof. You can see that there's just a standard blue roof on this thing. So dry carbon fiber wing, steel roof, and these wheels look great as well. These are 19-inch BBS forged wheels, and I like, of course, with them being forged, they're going to be lightweight, but I like that they visually look lightweight. They look like a performance wheel. This has kind of been my biggest complaints with the TR and TS models, is those wheels just look heavy. I have no idea if they are. If anybody knows the weight on those, let me know, but I just hate the way that they look heavy. So I think, yeah, it looks good. It looks good. The inside looks pretty good as well. We get these new Recaros. These aren't anything like the Recaros that are in the WRX models that have the Recaros. These ones are, this is an all new design. And supposedly, they are supposed to be, they did design these to be somewhat comfortable. In fact, you get 8-way power adjustment on both the driver and the passenger. I guess they had to emphasize that a little bit because of the CVT. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. You can daily drive this thing, I guess is what they're saying. In fact, this is kind of a funny image. I haven't seen this before. I guess on the outer side, this is the door side, there's a fold down armrest. You see that? Yeah, that's kind of, so I guess you climb into this thing and then you can fold it down like this. And under the hood, it looks very disappointing here. Not necessarily because it is. I mean, it is, but, this is the 2.4. This is not the 2.5. It's the 2.4. Somehow they claim they're going to be able to get 300 horsepower out of this thing, just doing an intake and exhaust, and of course tuning for the new intake and exhaust. But okay, the STI has had 300 horsepower for like 20 years, so I guess if this is a more reliable 300 horsepower, I guess that's not too bad. But the problem is, it just doesn't look like anything special. At least if you're going to do a new intake, at least, make the parts cherry red. I don't know. Do something. We get the strip tower brace. That's nice. But, where's the STI, on the intercooler? Where, the only thing you get really is this badge. That's it.